have stories. Every single one of us. From the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, we all have stories. Exploring the world for the greatest stories of all time.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Aron O'Dowd Show.
The Aron O'Dowd Show. Our soul is the screen upon which we project our dreams. What's your story?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hello to everybody. It's the Aron O'Dowd Show. That time again to showcase the incredible individuals of the world. You know, it's funny. We look at horses and we don't understand what kind of therapy they provide to people or understand the health benefits of what we do. But today's guest is all about that. And you know, it's funny. I was doing my research about this individual and I forgot I started a book with her as a co-author and was reading through it. So I'm happy to go deep diving into this soul and seeing what makes her fantastic. Her name is Catharina Gimre. She's all the way from Sweden. Hello, Catharina. How are you doing?
I am fine, thank you. How are you today, Aron?
I'm doing fantastic as always. Tell us about, faith and how it impacts your life in some way.
Oh, you got it deep right down there, Aron.
Bungee jump down. Forget about the niceties here,
Okay. Faith, yes. As I say in my book, Walk by Faith and Not by Sight, and it came to me when I was laying in a hospital and a doctor has punctured my artery. And I had been to a big event during the summer with Tim Story, and he was talking about that, go by faith and not by sight. So when I was laying there, waking up and intubated, and I was like, what is this? This is not my world. This is not what it looks like. So I just see it as okay, I'm going to go beyond this in some way, because this is not me laying here in the intensive care. And people are talking about around me and saying, oh, we don't know if she will survive and all that. So, and I continue with just playing that walk by faith and not by sight, because things aren't what it looked like. I had another vision when I was laying there, because I didn't feel it was me laying there in the intensive care.
Was that the beginning of your health journey, Catharina?
No, my health journey began earlier because I was in a couple of accidents, having whiplash with the car accident. So it started 10 years before that, about my health journey, to take care of my body in a good way. And as we go back to what we are talking about also, that the horses has always been the ones that pushes me forward to be better, do better, and be in the now, be present.
Why are horses so important to you?
When I was 5, I met my first horse, and then it was like, this is the animal that I can be me with. That's what they understood me. I felt that they understood me, because I felt like nobody understood me when I was young, and I could always go to the horses and say, okay, you are at least understand me and who I am. So I'm not going to listen to the other people that always are saying, oh, Catharina, can you take it a little bit easier? Can you be a little bit not so loud? And all of that the young girl that I was running around. So, and with the horses, I became also much calmer, and I became myself when I was with her. When I was with people, it was like all the people's energies come to me, and I was like a Duracell machine.
So take us back to that moment where you're feeling alone. Describe that to us. How did that picture for us?
It was very sad. I felt very sad about that because being alone and not being understood, and people are talking about you like you are a weirdo or not fitting. And I always went to the horse so I could really, I just, then I found myself, I found confidence, I found love from the horses. Then I could like recover and go out there again and and not being I when you are young you want to be like everybody else but you aren't.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that is that and people are like, you're not like us, so you cannot be with us. So and then I just took my bike and went to the horses, and I just said I don't want to be with people because they are not nice, because young people can be quite not so nice, talking bad things, even though it's not true to each other uh, about somebody else. So that's happened to me a lot. But I just took my bicycle and went to the horses because I just said I don't fit in. I go to the horses. There I can be.
And how did the horses help you find that peace in you?
I don't know. I just felt that they were really reflecting the true me inside of me and gave me that confidence in life to continue to be me and not to try to be somebody else. And that's how it became that I was riding the hardest, toughest horses on the riding school because they people was like, you don't have to have the horses that is just going around. We give you the hardest because you they say master, but I have had a communication with them, and they just was not a hard horse. We had fun together because I also understood, and I don't know. Then I didn't know what unique thing I had in me to connect with the horses in that way. But people outside that know that knew a lot about horses, they said that girl can do whatever she wants with the horse because she's just telling them to do it, and she doesn't need to force them or do anything about that. She it just happens
Did you ever
easy.
did you ever consider yourself as a horse whisperer?
That not I haven't considered myself as that, but other people had said that about me because I didn't think in that way. It was like a fusion when I met somebody, some horse.
Hmm.
We just were one when I was riding them or being with them. They never kicked me, bite me, or did anything. They were just very hugfully, as I say. They wanted to hug me, and I wanted to hug them. So, yeah, they were never. They didn't have to defend themselves uh, from me either. I
And
think they maybe had to have do that sometimes because people come into the horses with judgmental way. Oh, this horse used to bite and kick, and then they come in with a hostile um, set of mind. But I just came into the horse. I wasn't. I didn't have any. Well, I wasn't judgmental about any horse because I thought every horse was beautiful.
have you ever considered that the pain that you went being alone and the pain that the horse did, the two of you could feel seen, heard, understood between you and the horse?
Yes, yes. it really was like that in a very big way, and that's why I have continued to rescue horses in some way, and that are really looking at me and say, "Take me." And so, yeah, so that is a way. And I was fortunate one time. I got a horse. Or he was only 6 months, and and then I had the privilege to show him that he could be himself the whole life. He didn't have to protect himself from anything. And he was the nicest horse. I could put anyone on him, and I always said, I want you to, if anybody come here is 5 year old or younger and want to go with you out in the woods, that would be great. That you just the it would be a very, he was like a very, very nice dog. A big dog though.
How did your parents impact you to be the legend that you are, Katharina?
My parents always encouraged me to be me. And they were supportive around they with the horses. They just, do you want to go to horse? I could be there for as many hours I wanted. They wasn't like, you gotta get home now and do your homework and do that and do that. They knew, I knew what I had to do, but they didn't put me like, you have to come home this time. I could be. I never wanted to go there. So sometimes 9 o'clock in the evening, my father came. It's, do you want to come home now? I don't want you to go by bicycle home now. It's very late. So I got caught up just being with the horses. I didn't want to leave them.
When reading your chapter again and refreshing, you talked about your father. Tell us about how much impact he had for you.
Oh, he had a very, very big impact. From the early, when I could walk, I was like in on his trousers all the time. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? So I was like learning from him a lot. So I got the privilege to always, when he was going away and doing things, I could go with him in the car and I looking at him, how he was with people, because he was a people speaker or whisperer, or what you say, but he was an animal whisperer also. But he was very good with people because he was a man that could come to people and just come in and say, "Hi, how are you doing today? And is there anything I can help you with? Oh, can you change that lamp? That lamp has light bulb has gone out." And he was doing small things for 10, 15 minutes, and then he just bye bye, and then he was leaving, and that was okay. But he was checking in on a lot of people. You know, nowadays we send a message on whatever WhatsApp, but he was going there by car to every people like that. So when he was a military, so when he went home in the afternoon, he went through 2 or 3 people every day to check in on them. So that's what I also learned from him, that if you wanna, it's good to check out people in the surroundings around you. Now I can also do it to sending just a little message to people around the world, and I love to do it just to send some good messages, just to see if so people know that I'm thinking of them. So just not the like and a heart, and I want to just send a message. So, and I know how much people appreciate that. So that is, he's a very big part of And I want to, what do you say? Because he died when I was 19, I wanted to leave his legacy, if I say so, in some way, to with things that he did, because I really loved the way he did do that with people. You don't have to be with people for a long time to just so they notice I see you, and that, I think that is very important nowadays. So people feel also nowadays that they are not seen.
And how did that feel to have a role model pass away, and did that impact you dramatically as your development as a character in the world?
Yeah, yeah, that was a big hole in my life, I can say, in many people's life. I know that also. From the funeral, people were like, "This is not the right person that is dying." People were saying yes, but as saw it, and I see it now also, that he went away because he had to help so many people, and when he's on the other side, he can help everybody. So he's there guarding us all from the other side. That's how I see it. So I always I have had a conversation with him, even if he's not here, about things, and I want him to show me when I'm stuck in something, and he said, "Why are not you here to show me? I don't know how to do this." And then something reveals. That's how I see it. So, yeah, he's with me a lot of always, as I say.
Resilience is probably some part of you as a character in your story. How does that represent you and the horses and everything you do?
Yeah, I I've never given up on any horse. I they are. It's not like, oh, I don't like you anymore, I will sell you. I do anything for my horses. So that is. My husband is saying that yes, I know I came the last in your priority list. It's the horses, the cats, and then it's me. And yippee, me is there, as he says. So, um, and the horses, as I said to many friends, that okay, you go and buy your expensive jeans or jacket or whatever. I go and buy a screwdriver or things to my horses. That's what I put my money in, because that is more important than special clothes or in that way. So I always have fun about that with my friends, that live in an apartment, don't have to do anything, and don't. So every day is, people can say, don't you forget about taking out or in your horses or making it clean with them? And no, I've done that since I was 10. So, and I'm over 60 now. So that's 50 years. So I know what to do every day. So that's my way to also work out every day, to work in the stable with the horses, and then riding or doing walking with the horses, or what comes up. I don't know from day to day, because I see what is coming up. Are we going to do a walk in the wood, or are we going to do a ride in the wood? So that is we will see. It's depending on the mood they are on. Sometimes I go out on the horse, and I came back walking with the horse. So I just jump off and said, no, 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 we're just walking today. Yeah.
Fantastic. I want to take you back to when you're having your car crash and you're lying in the hospital bed and you're thinking, what's my mission in life to do? Because I presume that was a dark moment in your life where you thought, there's nothing else I want to do here. Why don't I just give up in some way?
Yeah. I had that conversation because I heard the doctors around me saying that and we don't know if she's gonna survive. So I was laying there also. What are you talking about? And then I said, okay, what do I have to do to survive? Okay, I have to throw away all the garbage that I have and going around with and taking energy from me because I would need all my good energy just to rehab. So, and then I said to myself, okay, I can throw everything. I don't have to have anything with me in the future. That's okay for me. So, is it okay to just throw it away? So, I did that. And when I did that, everything turned around in the intensive care because I took the decision to live because I said I'm not ready here. I was only 40, so I just said I have a lot of things more to do here on earth. So no, I'm not ready to leave the earth life yet. So it turned around and people on the intensive said something happened here. They noticed that I wanted to live because I wanted to communicate and say take away the intubation, take away all the pain drugs so I can feel my body. And the day after, 10 doctors were sitting in front of me and looking at me like this and say, she's alive. And I just, yeah, of course. For me, it was like, yeah, I took the decision to live. So even though you didn't think I should live. So, yeah, or
Can you
survive.
can you go deeper into that decision of why? Because we all make decisions, but to have a decision that important to decide should I still stay or go is vital. And people think, oh yeah, you just take a breath and there you go. But to make a decision internally,
Mm.
it requires guts and
I,
resilience.
I was uh, in a loop of drugs, but in somehow I always also knew there when I had a question. Uh, I say you can say I talk to God. I can say I talk to myself. I don't know. It was a discussion from do you want to live or do you want to die? You can take the decision here. And from there because when it was asked, I didn't know I had a choice. But then I had a question, do you want this or this? And then I asked, okay, if I want to live, what do I have to do? Because I also knew that came with something I had to do, of course. And that was to throw away all my garbage that I have with me, resentment and all that around towards other people or people that had hurt me, that I was going around with bad feelings around. It was that I could just leave. And I just felt like, wow, this is an opportunity I must take because just to leave that garbage away, that would be really, really good for me, I think. So that's that, but and when I say yes, and I somehow I could just do that, throw that away in somehow, and then the shift came in my body because I really felt like I wasn't ready here on earth. I wanted to be here. I wanted to do more. I had more to give, more to do. So that's because I was living, when I was laying there, it was like I was in another dimension. It was very, very peculiar. I don't know what to say, the word in English, because it was a very odd situation. So that's how I see it. That was oh yeah. I can only laugh at it now because it wasn't easy. The rehab took very long time for me to come back, so it wasn't easy. So, but I had really, because the day after I said to the doctor that had made the mistake, and she was like, "Oh, you can say whatever you want to me. It's okay to be angry." And I say, "I forgive you because I need the energy for myself. I cannot be angry at you." So that's also a thing that was very important, that I didn't wasn't angry at anybody, changing my life in that way, that I came into the intensive care in that way, because it felt like now I am really, I thought I was in charge of my life before, but now I felt like I am really in charge of my own life and I can do whatever I want with it. So that, so I don't want that accident and that to be undone, because it made me who I am now.
Was that your biggest challenge you have experienced in your 60 years here on Earth?
Yes, yes, it is. Well, it was my biggest experience in many ways, because I expanded as a human being for real, if I say so, because
And
I got the opportunity to survive, to live.
break that down further, the experience to live.
Experience to live, experience to come back and be with my horses, because they were waiting for me in the stable. They were there. My cats at home was waiting for me. So it and to have them being there for me, because they were also a part of the way I could rehab in a good way. They pushed me uh, to the cats were like healing. They were laying with me and really being there, giving me a lot of energy, and I had a like 150-meter to go to my horses when I was home, but it was a road that I went down. So when I went down to the horse, I have to be there for a while, because I have to recover for a while to have the strength to go up to my house again, because I was so tired for a long time after that. I didn't have the strength to really. So I learned to walk and live again in another way that I didn't live in that way before. As I say, I lived, had a lot of more baggage with me around, angry at people that have been not so nice to me and so on. But after that, I didn't go there anymore. When people did things, I just think it is you. It is on you. I'm not gonna have that in my life. If you are angry at me, I don't know what you. So that is also a thing that changed with me. To When people were angry or people were doing something, I just say, "Why are you telling me this? It's not on me. It's you." So I knew it wasn't on me at all. It was them. They were angry at themselves, but they put it out on me. And because I was positive and I was happy, they were angry at me because they were not happy and positive. So then they had to wanted to, you know, put me down a little bit, so I'm not so happy and positive. But I was just like, if I was like a goose, it just went off me, because I didn't take it anymore. No.
Hmm, I see. I don't understand by this quote, and break it down further for me. When you say your horses and your cats pushed you, what do you mean by that?
Hmm. Push me. Yes, I push. Yeah, they wanted me to. I just felt like they want. Okay, aren't you ready for going for a ride now? Like that. Was more like, what can we do more? And it was when I went out to the horses, they were like with the head pushing me a little bit, pushing me at like, you are okay now. So why can't we go back to the way it was before, going out riding in the woods and doing fun stuff? So um, so they pushed me, and I didn't want to be anywhere, and I just wanted to be around my horses. And my cats were always there, cuddling with me, and was also more. They were. It was like they felt that they had lost me, and I came back. So now they didn't want to leave me for a moment.
Were they your miracle to get back on your feet and do the mission you're here to do?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes I feel they knew more than me. They knew more than me, so they were pushing me in a direction. Uh, I didn't know how it would look like. I didn't see that then how it would look like, but I think they did, and they were pushing me in that direction always. So um, yeah, the horses has always been very very near me. The horses I have behind me here, they died when they were 28.
Wow, it's a
Yeah,
long time.
and the last year, I felt like, okay, it feels like I don't, they will not be here for so long more. So every day I took the both of them, and we were out walking in the woods together for 1.5 hour every day, because I really wanted to be with them and I didn't want to leave anyone behind. So I had the both of them going out together, and I am so happy that I did that, because when the day came and the veterinary said it's time, uh, I could I could I could say that it's okay.
How did that feel for them to know your yeah, how did that feel?
What we when I was working with them,
No, how did it feel to know that they're your hope, your security, your miracle workers were ending their journey?
yeah, but I make the most with the time with them, and when I got the verdict from the veterinary, it's time. Then I slept in the stable with them also the last night. So it was, and they were like more, it's okay, Katrina, it's okay. We're gonna be with you anyway. So I just felt reassured from them. So it was just a beautiful thing that I could help them over to the other side in a special moment for them when it was time. So yeah. So
You are the teacher, and when people come to do what you experienced through your own personal experience, how does that feel to watch other people experience something positive in their life that you got to experience in your life?
I just it is for me is the most joyful and happy thing I can do for other people. When I see that happens, I can see the shift in them. it is so rewarding, and I can see, and then I can follow these people afterwards and see what happens and how they really can transform their life, because you have to be willing to do it in somehow. Also, you have to be in that that you can receive the thing that the horses are are telling you. But I can also see people that is coming that already is very acquainted with horses, and they say they are really touched with everything that is happening when the horses are coming and standing around you, and they just stand there. And when a big that is, you can talk about dogs, they are also doing a lovely thing, and and the cats. But when a big animal as a horse is doing that, that is major. That is so much masses of energy that is coming towards you, and you cannot resist. You gotta receive. So that is, and when that is happening, it is a miracle every time I can see it. So that is just joyful moments, and I people start to cry, or they got tears in their eyes, because it gets very emotional when the shift is coming.
Why do you think the horse is a magical being?
Because they are really meeting you, they are seeing you, and they are present. They are here. They are not in the past, they are not in the future. They don't know, they are not going there and thinking of what you did or what you're going to do. They are there now. And I as and all the energy they are having, that's the power, the big power they have, the energy, because that is so much more energy than we have in our bodies. So when that power is coming to you in the now and puts you in the now, that's when the magic is happening. And that the horses, and I don't know which of, I have three horses, and I don't know which of the horses will do the magic, but their magic is happening.
Catharina, if people want to go and find out and you get to experience the magic of these amazing beings, where can they go?
They can go to my LinkedIn site that you have here, and you can also go to my Facebook, Horsepower to Balance, uh, and I have a retreat in September, 4th to 8th September. I have a retreat. If anybody wants to come here, they are very, very welcome. So, yes.
If you had one piece of advice or something that would inspire people, what would it be, Catharina?
Even if you are afraid of horses and you have opportunity to be near a horse, take a chair or whatever to sit outside the fence of where a horse is, and just sit there and be present, because the horses will come to you after a while. I don't know. Sometimes they're very curious, and then if you just sit there and be with them, things can happen. So I want people to try it. So that's what I want to give people out there to do.
Catharina, I say thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a blast, and what you do is amazing because you're providing a magic being to provide their magic to the world.
Thank you, Aron, and I just love what you are doing too. So I'm a big supporter of you.
There you go, everybody. It just shows you the power of the horse and power of the human spirit, and it can augment and succeed, and resilient to anything is possible. Stay tuned for next week as we discover another incredible soul who's doing magnificent things to aid their health, their resilience, their power to empower others, and to shine the world, because we all need a sparkle in the world these days. Stay tuned next Tuesday And make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and smash that like button if you enjoyed this amazing conversation.
Thank you for listening to the Aron O'Dowd Show, where the world's best stories are told. If you like, please post a review or subscribe to the show. To find out more, contact us at aronodowd.com. That's ARONODOWD.com. We're always ready to share another magnificent tale from the world's best storytellers. So stay tuned and rock on.